Welcome back to Petverse, explorers of instinct, behavior, and the timeless bond between humans and animals. I'm Petverse Voyager, and today we're stepping into the backyard, literally, to uncover one of the most classic, muddy, and sometimes frustrating canine mysteries: why do dogs love to dig? If you've ever walked outside to find a perfectly manicured lawn transformed into what looks like an archaeological excavation site, you're not alone. Beneath those flying clumps of dirt and wagging tails lies a story shaped by evolution, survival, comfort, curiosity, and even emotion. So let's dig deeper. To understand why dogs dig, we must travel back thousands of years, long before couches and chew toys, to the wild ancestors of modern dogs. Digging was not a hobby, it was a survival skill. Wild canines dug dens to create safe spaces for resting, giving birth, and protecting their young from predators and harsh weather. A den provided insulation from cold winds and blazing heat. The act of digging into soil allowed them to control temperature naturally, cooler beneath the surface during summer and warmer during winter. That instinct didn't vanish when wolves evolved into domesticated companions. It simply followed them home. Even today, you may notice your dog circling and scratching at blankets or cushions before lying down. That behavior echoes ancient den-making rituals. But digging isn't only about shelter. It's also about storing resources. In the wild, food was not guaranteed. When a canine had access to surplus meat or a prized bone, burying it protected the treasure from scavengers and preserved it for later. This caching behavior remains alive and well in many household dogs. When your dog buries a treat in the yard, or even hides it between couch cushions, it's participating in a time-tested survival strategy. The modern backyard has replaced the forest floor, but the instinct remains the same: secure valuable resources for the future. There's also the thrill of the hunt embedded in digging. Dogs possess powerful noses capable of detecting scents buried beneath layers of soil. Rodents, insects, and other small creatures create subtle underground movements and scent trails that ignite a dog's predatory drive. When your dog suddenly becomes laser-focused on a patch of earth, paws working furiously, they may be responding to sounds or smells you can't perceive. From their perspective, they're not destroying landscaping, they're tracking potential prey. That burst of digging energy is an expression of deeply wired hunting circuitry. Temperature regulation plays another fascinating role. On hot days, you might notice your dog digging a shallow hole and then lying in it. Soil just a few inches below the surface is significantly cooler than the air above. By creating a small depression, dogs tap into natural air conditioning. This behavior is particularly common in breeds with thick coats or those historically adapted to extreme climates. Huskies, terriers, and many working breeds may show stronger digging tendencies because their ancestors relied heavily on environmental modification for comfort and survival. Yet instinct alone doesn't explain every hole. Sometimes digging is about emotion. Dogs are intelligent, energetic creatures. When they lack sufficient physical exercise or mental stimulation, boredom can transform into excavation. Digging becomes an outlet, a way to burn off excess energy and engage both body and mind. The repetitive motion of scooping soil can even have a self-soothing effect, releasing tension much like pacing or chewing might. In this context, the hole isn't the goal, the activity itself is the reward. Anxiety can also manifest through digging. A dog experiencing separation distress may dig near fences or gates, attempting to reach their absent guardian or escape perceived isolation. In these cases, the behavior reflects emotional imbalance rather than playful instinct. Understanding the motivation behind digging is essential, because each cause calls for a different response. More enrichment, structured play, scent games, and interactive toys can significantly reduce boredom-driven digging. Providing shaded, cool resting areas can address heat-related digging. And when anxiety is involved, patience, training, and sometimes professional guidance help rebuild a sense of security. It's important to remember that digging, at its core, is natural. Expecting a dog never to dig is like expecting a bird never to flap its wings. Instead of suppressing the instinct entirely, many pet guardians find success by channeling it. Creating a designated digging zone, a sandbox or specific corner of the yard, allows dogs to express their instincts in an acceptable space. Burying toys there can even turn the area into a treasure-hunting playground. When we work with instinct rather than against it, harmony becomes possible. Ultimately, when your dog digs, they are communicating in the language of their ancestors. Each scoop of earth tells a story of dens carved into hillsides, of hidden food caches, of cool earth against warm fur, of prey rustling just beneath the surface. What may look like mischief is often memory, genetic memory, surfacing through instinctive action. Here on Petverse, we celebrate these glimpses into the ancient blueprints that shape our companions' behaviors. I'm Petverse Voyager, and as you brush soil from your dog's paws or fill in another backyard crater, I invite you to see beyond the mess. Within that muddy enthusiasm lies resilience, adaptation, and a connection to a wild heritage that still pulses beneath domesticated calm. Until our next exploration, stay curious, keep observing, and remember, sometimes the deepest truths are found just beneath the surface.